This is FNGR, and before I hand this off to my new co-host for this week, I'm presenting the rules before we vote. And yes, we're voting this time. Really quick, Silverquill has requested not to be part of Analysis Daily, so I would encourage you to vote for someone else, as I will not be able to publicly count that vote. Additionally, about a week ago, I finally got Sapphire Heart Song's podcast at long last up. Sadly, I uploaded the unedited version. Despite putting hours of work into it like a dum-dum, I regretfully used the raw footage. So when the voting closes in 1 week's time of the release of this video, the professional version of that podcast is going to go up here. Normally I have to wait for my artists to complete their work anyways, so think of it as a bonus. In no way, shape, or form will get in the way of the next release. I'll now be stepping out of the way for my new guest host.
Hello there everybody, my name is GeekySteven, and you may know me as the one guy that made the Bronalysis training video and the one guy that made Friendship is Witchcraft vs. Mentally Advanced series. You may also know me as the one fucking poor sap that got totally screwed over last time during Analysis Daily Awards, thanks to a certain scarf-wearing, cheeseburger-eating douchebag by the name of Jeff. But you know what? I think that's besides the point. I mean, Jeff's a cool guy, we made up. I mean, he fucking wears scarves, he eats cheeseburgers, you know, usual American stuff. But you guys didn't click on this video just to listen to me wallow in my own defeat. How about we actually get on with the rules of this whole shindig? For a content creator to qualify for Analysis Daily, he or she must have a Brony review or analysis that is no older than 2 months from June 2nd. That content must be audible and at least in 720p resolution. If you have any questions, please do so and ask them below before you vote. You do, after all, have a whole week to finish, so take your time. The votes are as follows. You get 3 points, 2 points, and 1 point to put on 3 different content creators. So, for example, let's say, 3 points for GeekySteven, 2 points for Tricky Fox, and 1 point for, Jeff. Oh, I'm sorry, MangaKamen. Please do us a favor and do not edit your votes after you cast them. Counting the votes is a long, mind-numbing, and taxing process, and for that reason, votes that you edit will not be counted. Again, you have a whole week to figure out the 3 analysts or reviewers you wish to vote for, so take your time. For collabs, the content creator who hosts the content on their channel is the one who counts for the piece. The winner will get their very own King of Limbo, as well as some very awesome artwork, believe me, I know, and likely will get trolled by KichiFIM and the other winners? Is that really a prize? I mean, I don't really think that's something you should strive for.
It's a tradition now.
Whatever you say, masculine starlight. So again, if there are any questions whatsoever about the rules, please say them before voting and FNGR will get back to you. Thank you guys so much, and I hope to hear from you all again soon.
The Editor, Magic Duel.
We start off in a depressing rainy setting with a mysterious hooded figure running through the streets. Really not very consistent in trying to be subtle with it, are you, writers? That and the fact that the place looks like Diagon Alley from Harry Potter, as we meet our mayor in question entering an old knick-knack shop.
Ah, you have a keen eye. The Alicorn Amulet is one of the most mysterious and powerful of all the known magical charms.
So why do you have it then? Shouldn't something like that be locked up in a tomb or castle treasury? Plot convenience much? Not too much. Much too much.
Fatmanfalling, Flutter Brutter.
The problem is that this guy is an asshole. He's a manipulative little bitch on top of being a freeloading deadbeat.
Move out.
I don't think that's what Mom and Dad want.
And he obviously can't take a hint from Rainbow Dash, who wants nothing to do with him. This is not a character who young adult freeloaders want to relate to enough to learn from. Unless this guy is like so specific to your situation that it serves as a wake-up call, you're probably going to be vindicated that you're at least not an awful person, and your brand of freeloading is somehow more acceptable to the people around you. And by the end of the episode, he doesn't really even change. He just sort of got a job, or on the track to get a job. There's nothing to show that he isn't still a manipulative freeloading jerk.
Stupid Private 913, Flutter Brutter.
Zephyr Breeze is absolutely insufferable. He's needy, he's whining, he's shiftless, he's annoying, and unlike Fluttershy, I don't have to love him despite his faults. Oh, and his design makes him look like a jack. Sorry, Cranky. Now, I'm almost certain that all of these choices were intentional, and he had to be the kind of guy who needs a swift kick in the butt. However, I think the character would have worked better if he was more like Prince Blueblood, a handsome and charming knave who's never done an honest day's work in his life. Now, on the other hand, the best part of the episode is Fluttershy. She's in big sister mode, and it's a very refreshing change from her usual shtick.
Spirit Productions, Who is Best Princess?
So, how does Celestia fit? Celestia herself managed to lead a nation for over 1,000 years before Luna returned, and even after that she seems to be in main command. Most of Celestia's appearance involved her taking time off work or providing exposition, though we know she spends some time off screen working since it would be difficult to market work to children, not to mention this is slice of life after all. Celestia's interactions outside of the main six and Twilight are pretty minimal. She's either instructing, teaching, or at an event. Though the show's original display of Celestia portrayed a deity with no flaws, I find her more believable with flaws. I think that many of royalty would agree that trying to keep a perfect image is hard to say the least.
RarityDash, Flutter Brutter.
But here, it's clear the whole way through that she isn't about to let her kindness be abused. When Fluttershy's father says this,
"Well, we may not be as bold as you, Fluttershy,"
it functions as a cute joke due to the whole notion of Fluttershy actually being bold in comparison to someone else for once. But I would say bold is a legitimately good word for Fluttershy here, what with all the wonderful expressions the animators gave her and the particularly on-point performance Andrea Libman brought to the episode. And the fact that her parents really are less bold than she is, acting much like she did in earlier seasons or when written poorly, just highlights it all by contrast. The best part though is that as with Keep Calm and Flutter On, it's clear it's not easy for her. I love seeing her so frustrated, seeing her actually get angry for once and it not being like some overblown tantrum.
Wandering F, No Second Prances.
Felt really excellent this episode. She didn't feel like some other characters I'm not going to mention until later on. When I saw the teaser, I was afraid that they're going to reset her character and throw away her redemption. They somehow didn't do that at the same time. On Trixie's end though, there's nothing bad I can really say about her in this episode. She bragged that Starlight chose to help her instead of attending Celestia's dinner, showing to Starlight that she used her. That's bad though, right? It is, but after saying that she actually cared about her friendship because when Starlight ran out and Twilight was about to give her a tongue lashing, you can see Trixie is upset due to the fact that she just possibly lost one of her best friends. I felt bad and I hoped something really good would happen to her, which it always does. It's My Little Pony. I also love the Harry Houdini reference. It's really interesting the show breaks down magic into categories from street magic until time travel.
MangaKamen, Saddle Row Review.
And there is some really good entertainment going on. I already brought up Buried Lead, being a shout out to J. Jonah Jameson, the way the main six screw up by trying to use Rarity's mindset.
You are all weirdos! Ugh.
Although the biggest source of entertainment in this episode had to be Pinkie Pie, from discovering that one of her clones actually got away way back a few seasons, nice hat by the way, tips fedora, to her having a classic angel and devil version of Rarity appearing on her shoulders, in one of the most classic gags of cartoon history. Oh come on laddie, you know that gag is so cliched and tired. Almost practically everyone has used it, but it's a fun shout out to comedies of the past, Looney Tunes, Disney, and practically tons of others.
Freedom Flash, Applejack's Day Off.
So Applejack keeps failing to make it to Rarity's spa days? This looks like it could be an episode about Applejack telling the truth and, oh, she actually wants to be there? Okay, seems a little bit out of character, but we can work with that. Okay, I think Twilight is humorously misinterpreting the list, possibly for a running gag. No? She read it correctly? Okay, what's next? And then everything went tits up. Fox Bros, you're new, and I really want to like you. I really do. So stop making it so difficult! If I may suggest an alternative plot for the episode, here's what I'd do. I'd have Applejack be disinterested in going to the spa, but keep lying about it to protect Rarity's feelings.
Rosie Sievers, Turnabout Storm.
Characters had awesome interactions with each other, especially Phoenix and Twilight. When the very first scene, they bounced off each other super well. They actually made the perfect team for the case, and thanks to their teamwork as well as their evidence, they won it for the good guys. They shared their interest in investigation and give each other advice when they needed. The interactions with other characters were awesome too. Rainbow and Fluttershy shared some heartbreaking and heartwarming moments and great character development. In the final episode where Rainbow tearfully apologizes to Fluttershy after she held him back for so long, going through the whole case as the prime suspect, for being a jerk to her before the retrial, and saying it was her fault they were in this mess. Normally she doesn't show those emotions, but at that time she did. Fluttershy bravely went back to the stand to give the court information about the vital part of the case, which led to the victory at the end of the trial, taking the skills she learned for about facing her fears, like in the episodes Dragon Shy and Hurricane Fluttershy.
Watchful Pony, Saddle Row Review.
Or a woman from Grand Theft Auto set to assholery of DEFCON 2. Yeah, okay, let's talk about this. Normally, I don't let an asshole character get in the way of my enjoyment of an episode because 1, sometimes that's entirely the point, or 2, the asshole wins if I do that. But this is a rare case where the asshole sours my taste of the whole episode. I didn't think it was possible for me to hate a one-off background character, but you've done it. I'm at least grateful he's not in the episode for long, and besides it could be worse, his brother is Nico after all. Anyway, with all this stuff piling on, Rarity finally has a mental breakdown. Oh, there's something we haven't seen in a while. Rarity's stressed out. But Twilight decides to take action and says that each of the friends can split up priorities and get the shop up and running much faster. And things don't immediately go well when they start asking themselves, what would Rarity do? Now, I don't have a problem with them taking that mentality. I mean, after all, it's Rarity's boutique, but also it happens in real life too. I mean, after Walt Disney died, the Disney Corporation was kind of scrambling to wonder what would Walt do.